All right, so what does 10,000 hours in sales teach you about business and people? In this video, I'm going to go into deep detail about my career as a salesperson, what I've learned after doing 10,000 hours worth of cold calling, warm lead calling, door-to-door, car sales, in-person negotiation, so on and so forth. So this is what you're going to learn. First things first, we're going to go into what you learn about people, and then we're going to kind of go into what you learn about running a business or the skills that help in sales that help you run businesses, so on and so forth. So number one, people will lie to salespeople all the time. Anytime I've worked in sales, generally most of my deals that I've ever done, people have either lied or kind of did half truths throughout the entire process, whether that was selling a car, whether that was through cold calling, whether that was through warm leads, whatever it may be. Every person that I have worked with or sold on the phone had some level of not telling me the full truth of their situation, and it's my job to kind of bring it out of them. Now, the problem is with this is, especially when people get started in sales, they get really, really bitter. Oh my gosh, why is everyone just lying to me? Why don't you just tell me the truth and I can get to the bottom of it and I can sell you the product that you need? It's so annoying to go blah, 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 blah. Like, salespeople will get really, really annoyed at this. But here's the reality. They do it for a good reason. In fact, I'm really going to emphasize that people will lie to salespeople for a really, really good reason. And the reason is most salespeople are bad actors. I would debate to say, I would probably even go to the point of saying that 70% of salespeople are bad actors. There's a lot of people out there who will do sales, do anything they can to get the bottom line in dollar and screw you out of whatever you're trying to do. Sell you a product you don't need because it'll make me more money, or move you to products that doesn't really make sense for you, but it makes more sense for me as a salesperson. Now, this is why people will lie to salespeople, because from first interaction, what is the reputation of a salesperson? They're slimy, they're scammy, they're going to take your money. Don't tell them the full truth, tell them a half truth. And then when you get to the bottom of the deal, then you tell them everything. And then you can kind of have a one up on the salesperson. There's a whole song and dance when it comes down to sales. And that's why it's a really hard job. If sales was really easy and it was straight to the point, then it wouldn't be sales anymore. It would just be customer service, which customer service is good. And I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that there's no point to a salesperson if there isn't going to be some type of hard negotiation or some level of annoying factor to it. This is probably my least favorite factor, is that people will lie to me. They won't tell me the truth because from first interaction, I'm a scam artist to them. And in all honesty, I should be. Why would they trust me? They've never met me. They don't know me. They don't know that my family loves me. They don't know that I'm good to my brother and sister. They don't know that I donate to my church. They don't know these things. They don't know anything about me. So it's your job as a salesperson to empathize and know that when you're kind of working in that environment and that you're going to be lied to and that people are going to just tell you half truths and that you really got to extract information from them, you just got to stay on the side of knowing that it's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you are a scam artist. It's because people have been screwed over before. There's a lot of bad actors in any type of sales industry. And it's just your job to prove to them that you're not that guy. And if you can do that correctly, you not only will gain trust through selling and make more sales, but you'll also have a better reputation. And people will want to work with you more and more as time goes on. Your reputation as a salesperson really, really matters. Especially in the beginning, you don't want to have the reputation of somebody who's just going to take your money and run. You definitely want to have a professional stance. You want to help out as best you can. And you really want to listen to your client, whoever is talking, and try to dig and figure out what they really need. And then whatever it is that they really need, then push them towards that. I guarantee you, if you find exactly what they need, whether that's a nicer car or a car that makes sense or a business consulting package that makes more sense, whatever you're selling, really just make sure that you can provide them the most value possible. And if you do, guarantee you they're going to want to not only work with you, but they'll recommend you to other people too. That brings me to number 2. Selling high-ticket products is not only easier, it makes you way more money. So this is actually a really big common misconception that people get in sales. They think that when you look at products like a Rolls Royce, or you look at products like a yacht, or you look at products like a private jet, or things that real estate, things that are super, super expensive, really high in income, all these sorts of things. Don't even bother starting with that because, oh my gosh, it's so much harder. You got to be so much more professional, this and that. Now, there's truth to that. You do have to be a little bit more professional. But I will say this. If you could sell a low-ticket product and you could sell a low-ticket product really well, there's no doubt in my mind that selling a high ticket product will not only be way easier for you, but you're also going to make way more money. Listen, you could be the best salesperson in the world and say there's a product that's $40 and you sell 20 of those a day and you have high volume. It's sweet. You sold 20 products that were $40 or $50. Let's just say $50. It's easier math. 20 products. That's $1,000 in revenue. And say you get 10% of it. $1,000 in revenue, you did 20 sales and you made $100. You worked way harder to make $100, like doing 20 sales. Now imagine you did 5 sales instead, but it was $5,000 or it was $10,000 and you get the same percentile. Let's just say it's $5,000 and you do 5. That's $25,000. What's 10% of $25,000? $2,500. So you did less sales and made 25 times more money selling a really big product. And here's the simple truth about selling a product that's expensive versus not. It's the same pressure. You selling something that's super expensive is going to be the same exact pressure as you selling something that's super cheap. You could sell a Cutco knife and make a few dollars, or you could sell a house and make a couple thousand, if not like 15 to 20,000, depending on what you sell. See, there's a lot of truth in what you sell is where you'll actually make money. This is why I tell people, even if you have a tiny bit of sales skill, try your best to get into something that is a high ticket product. Even working online, obviously, I run a company called salesaccelerator.io where I teach people how to transition into online sales, especially in the high ticket space. You'll make way more money than selling a product that you probably are in your corporate office or even in your door-to-door job or whatever you may be doing, that although you're learning a lot about sales, you're not making a lot of money. So a really big thing that I learned in sales is that I've sold low ticket, medium ticket, and high ticket. And by the way, what I mean by that is I sold cheap products, mid-market products, expensive products. I've sold to the poor class, I've sold to the middle class, and I've sold to the super wealthy. And I've sold even to above the super wealthy. And I'm telling you this right now, the super wealthy, the people with a lot of money, it's way easier to extract money from them than the people who had no money at all. The sales were a lot more difficult at the bottom and you made way less money. But then when you start getting into those more luxury markets or you start getting into the markets where people are actually having money, that's where you want to be. However, you also got to prove yourself. Some people have zero sales experience and they want to just jump to something that's high ticket. You could probably start as somebody who's like a setter if you have zero experience and then work your way into something high ticket, meaning you could find a job that, like, for example, a Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, you're probably not, if you have zero sales experience, you're probably not going to jump right to a sales job. However, you could become the lot guy at the dealership and work your way up pretty quickly. Instead of taking 2 to 3 years to learn car sales at another dealership and then going to luxury, you could just go become a lot guy for 6 months, work really hard. Yeah, you're not going to be selling, but you're going to be around salespeople all day. You're going to end up people are going to end up starting to like you. You could probably show a little bit more charisma or encouragement of like, hey, I really want to get into sales. Is there any way you could move me up there? Most people, if they see someone who's hardworking, they're going to move you up. It's the same thing actually in the high ticket world where I teach people to go online. If you have no sales experience, you would start as a setter and then you could work your way up to a person who's closing deals and you'll make a lot more money. But you would literally just start as a setter, make enough money to survive or pay your bills, and then you could work your way up to a position where you're actually selling really high ticket products and making huge commissions from doing so. One of the big things I tell people in sales, especially if you're going to sell, try to get into luxury markets or high ticket markets as quickly as you can. There's no point in selling something low ticket. I've seen salespeople for 30 years sell a very low ticket product and make, low 6 figures, when the reality is if they just moved up to a product that they could sell, because they are better salespeople than me, way better salespeople than me. They've been selling for longer than I was even born, but they've only sold low ticket and they got too comfortable and they never wanted to learn how to sell something high ticket. If you have sales skill, you want to move into something that's an expensive product or at least has a good commission structure or bonus structure. You want to move to where the money is as a salesperson. Don't stay at the bottom. Always want to move your way up to the top so you make way more money by doing the same amount of work, if not less work. I know a lot of people who are doing the high ticket stuff or doing super luxury stuff that are doing 2 deals a month and they're making way more money than somebody who's doing 30 deals a month at a low ticket product. You don't want to do that. You really want to work. If you have sales skill, definitely work your way up. And if you don't, find a company that sells a very expensive product and work your way up from the bottom. Just makes more sense. It's way easier, and you'll probably get to learn a lot more about the product, and your life will become a lot easier in the sales game. You don't always have to just start at the bottom and sell low ticket for years. I don't recommend it even. I did that, and I don't recommend it. I totally think you could just start at luxury markets, just work your way up in a luxury market. It's just a way better idea. Sell a product that's super expensive, that has good commission structures. You'll be set. You'll learn a lot more about sales that way anyway. You'll learn how to actually work with real professionals and real rich people who have money, and you'll learn how to actually extract money from them versus taking the last dollar from somebody who doesn't have money. It feels slimier at the bottom too. Just saying. Here's another lesson that's really, really important. Be original and have the courage to tell the truth. So this is an interesting one because especially as the first lesson that I taught, it was a whole thing about customers will lie to you. That sucks that they lie to you. Man, I wish they wouldn't lie to me. Blah. Most salespeople do that. They complain. They bitch. But here's the reality. They lie too. 70% of salespeople lie. Why is that? Is it because they're trying to be a slime balls? Is it because they're trying to take their last dollar? Probably not. Unironically, probably not. My personal opinion is that it's mostly like 20% are trying to take your last dollar. The other 80% will lie to you because they're scared. Same reason why a customer will lie to you. Why are they lying to you? Well, you don't want a salesperson to take your money. Oh, you don't want a salesperson to do all these things and manipulate you. Those are all fear-based things. I don't want to get taken advantage of, so I'm going to lie. I don't want to get hurt, so I'm going to lie. Same thing with salespeople. Why do they lie? Because I need to make money. I don't want to lose the sale. I don't want to do this. Fear, fear, fear. I'm going to lie to you, even though it's not the right thing to do, because I want to make money and I really don't want to lose this deal over something that it's just a tiny white lie. It doesn't matter. No. Be original. You really want to be original in this area. Most salespeople lie because they're scared. Most people lie, in my opinion, because they're scared, not because they're manipulative, not because they're jerks. They lie because they're too scared to do something, like tell the truth. They're too scared to do it. You need to have the courage to tell the truth. Say an entire deal is going through and then a customer asks a really difficult question that if you just did a little white lie, the deal would go through, or you feel like the deal would go through, and then it'll work out and they'll never have to worry. Don't do that. Tell them the truth. If they ask a question, confidently tell them the truth. Like, hey, that actually might not be the best choice. I know that that's what you want. Might not be the best choice. I know you're looking, for example, I actually just thought of this. For example, say that a customer, in fact, I'm going to erase this just to do this example. I'm going to do this right for you. I'm not going to do the transition. I'm not going to tap the board. I'm just going to do this. All right. Here is customer. This is the customer you're trying to sell. And this is you. You're blue. Blue is a nice color. It's one of my favorites. And that's you. And in this situation, there's 3 cars. I'm just going to use car sales as an example. It's always easiest to do. Now, this is the cheapest. This is the mid-market. And this is the most expensive. Now, this is where truth kind of comes into play. Customer really just wants the cheap car because it's the most affordable. I don't want to do anything bad. I don't want to go into too much expenses. I really want to have this car. Cool. Obviously, you want to give the customer what they want. And you want to, not disappoint them. So we put them on this car in the beginning. The problem is with this car is you actually know that it's a junker. You know it's a piece of crap. You know it's actually something that is not really good, and you kind of don't want to put your client into it. There's other deals that could be made. You don't think it's good, but the customer is like, I really want this car. But then you talk to the customer, and you find out, like, wait, actually, they want a little bit more technology. They want something that's all really reliable, and they just want to spend less money. Now, here's the reality. This car right here is actually the best deal for them. Now, if you want to be a good salesperson, an honest salesperson, a salesperson that tells the truth, you would move them to this car. Now, the reason why is because this car is way more reliable. It has what they want. It's a tiny bit more expensive. And it's way better quality than car 1. You shouldn't get car 1 because car 1 sucks. Now, if someone else on the lot wants to buy car 1, or maybe they trash it and sell it back to an auction, that's what they should really do. Some car dealers don't do that. Some dealers will just shove this one down someone's throat. Cool. That's not what I did when I worked in car sales. I couldn't do it. A lot of people did. I didn't like doing that. I wanted to give people exactly what they needed. This customer actually needed this car. The problem is with people who lie, or they're scared to tell the truth, or this and that, is this customer really just wants this. Instead of trying to change their mind to something that they really need, they will just, oh, I'll make sure you get this car. Oh, I'll make sure it's all gassed up. I'll give you a good deal. No. Push them to this and be like, listen, sir, I know you really want this car. Can I tell you the truth? I checked the Carfax on it. It had 6 owners. It had been in 2 accidents. I know you're looking for an affordable car, and I know your eyes were on this one. I don't think it's really that great of a car, especially when you were telling me your budget. I know you don't want to max out your budget, but this car right here has only had 1 driver. It doesn't have high miles. It was well taken care of, has many service records. This car, if you're looking for a reliable car that's cheap, you should do this one. Now, there's, again, going back to what I'm saying, this is the right thing to do, is to move them to the mid-market car, because that's what the customer actually wants and needs. They said they wanted a car with technology and this and that, and they wanted something cheap, so they went for this car because there's a little technology in it. But the reality is they also want a reliable car and all this sort of stuff. You could just lie to them and sell them the car that they think that they want, or you could show them exactly what they need. Now, there's another even slimier thing that people do, which is what creates less trust. Sometimes salespeople won't even do this. They will say, no, come on, you should do this one instead. Because it has all the technology, it's the best car, it's this. I know it's super out of your budget, but that's what car payments are for, man. You could just do an 84-month loan at 23%. Now, although this will literally bankrupt you, you'll get the best car ever, baby. You'll get everything. You're lying to them. You know that this is not the best car for them, and you're lying to them because you want to make a commission. Granted, I get it. You want to make more money. But if you do this one and you actually sell them the mid-market car, more happens in this deal than you think. It's not just a sale. This guy right here realizes, oh my gosh, I actually got an honest salesperson to work for me in the car industry. That's impossible to find. That's super hard to find. Anytime someone has a car deal, or anytime I need a car again, I'm going to come back to you. Come back to Mr. Blue salesperson who helped me out. The problem is with salespeople is that they're very short-sighted. They're either too scared to tell them what they actually need, or they're too greedy and tell them what they don't need that will benefit me more. Long term, if you sell people actually on truth and you give them the product that they actually need, oh my gosh, you're not only going to make money on this deal, more than you would on this one, but you're also going to have a referral client. This is a person that if there's a slow month, you could actually call this person. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up, but this is a person that you could call because you have built so much trust, which is what I did in the car industry when I worked at Mercedes or even at the lower end dealerships. I could call these people up and say, hey, do you know anybody who's looking for a car this season? And then they would recommend me to reach out to those people. And I was actually able to build rapport with not only this guy, but their entire family, their entire friends. I made this person impressed with how honest I was. And in an industry where people aren't honest, or they're too scared to be honest, that's very valuable. People want to work with honest salespeople. They're just impossible to find. So if you learn how to be honest and you learn how to tell the truth, you are really, really going to be able to not only build rapport, you're not only going to feel better about yourself because you're telling the truth and you don't feel like a slimeball salesperson, but you're also going to have a lot of repeat customers. People are going to want to work with you and you only. And that actually just helps from a factor of being able to sell more. Selling more means you make more money, depending on what you sell. But still, selling more is never a bad thing, no matter what you're selling, low ticket or high ticket. Make sense? Perfect. Okay, so last point that I actually want to make in this video. Now, there's many more points that I can make. There's many more things that I could teach, but this is just the last point I want to make on this specific video. And also, too, in the comment section, if there's specific parts that you want me to go over or questions that you have about sales, please not only look at my community where we can go over and I can ask and answer any question. Okay. Perfect. All right. So last point that I want to make here. And there's many points more that I can make. Being 10,000 hours in sales or working 10,000 hours selling, there's lots and lots of lessons that I could teach. There's lots of points that I can make, and I can't cover all of them in this video. So if you have any deeper questions, I created a group called salesaccelerator.io. It's a school community where you can join, learn more about sales, learn all of my structures on how to get a good career in high-ticket sales, but also ask questions in the community that I will personally answer for you through text or even through live call in teaching exactly how to do certain things or certain mindsets you should have in sales. So if there's more questions that you may have, please look into the community or just put a comment down below on YouTube and I'll take a look at that as well and answer the best I can. With this being said, this is the last point that I kind of wanted to make to kind of wrap up this presentation that I think is very, very, very important, especially if you're a new salesperson or even if you're a veteran salesperson to understand. I've worked in many, many, many different types of sales industries. I've worked in phone sales, text sales, car sales. I've even done and dabbled with door-to-door for a short period of time for one of the business consulting companies that I used to work for. This is a really important point. Find a product that you believe in and a selling style that you love. So most times in sales, you always hear people sell product that you love, sell product that you love, sell product that you love. There's another part to that too, though. I also believe you should find a selling style that you love. So it's not just a product, it's also the selling style. So for example, say you love tech. I love the product of tech. I love software. I'm so interested in it. I want to sell software. And then you sell software and you're like, oh man, I don't like this, but the product's amazing. I believe in the product. Why don't I like this? Why, like, this sucks. I feel like I'm cramped in a cage at this and that. It's because the selling style, you hate it. You might love the product of software, but you might hate sitting down at a desk and doing 150 cold calls a day. Because that's what a lot of software companies are. You're doing high volume cold calls to major B&B companies to try to sell them on products that they need for software companies, so on and so forth. And then building rapport with those companies. You might hate doing that. But you know what you might not hate is doing 3 to 4 sit downs in a car company, selling a very nice Mercedes-Benz, explaining the car. It's a product that you love. Oh, I love this fast, nice Mercedes-Benz. But you're sitting down and you're only doing deals and you're walking, you're driving cars, you're moving around. You're still selling and you're still probably making the same amount of money that a software salesperson would, but you're doing it in a selling style that you love. You're moving around. You're doing it in person. You're doing negotiations. There's more to it that you like. Super, super important. Personally, my favorite variation, obviously, is the setter and closer model. I like being able to close deals and then work from home and then not have to like sit there and do cold call after cold call after cold call. I could literally just sit there, do a deal, throw on the phone. I could have my walking treadmill desk. I could work while moving because I do like moving. That was the one thing I loved about car sales, the selling style of being able to move 24/7, running to find a car, this and that. My body felt healthy. I was moving. You shouldn't be sitting down all the time. Even if you are a salesperson and you work from home, I fully recommend a treadmill desk. You should be moving. I think that's not even just like a selling style factor. I think if you're moving, your body is good and you have energy, and I think it's a really healthy thing for most people to do. Plus, it gives your mind something to do while you actually work. It gives your body something to do so you're kind of distracted so you could focus on your work, if that makes any sense. Maybe that's just me and my ADHD, but no, that's kind of the point that I had to make with that. So it's not just the product that you need to worry about, it's also the selling style. Do you like sitting at a desk? Maybe you like working from home. Maybe that's something that's really important for you. Maybe you hate doing in-person things. Maybe you're more of a Zoom call person. You should do something where it's like in setting sales or closing sales, where you have a treadmill desk, you're walking, you're doing a 30-minute call, and then after that 30-minute call, you have a 2-hour block to do whatever you want. You can go watch TV, or you can go work out, or do whatever you may be, go eat, make some food. It's more convenient, and it's a selling style you like. Maybe you're like more of a family man, you want to be home. Maybe that makes more sense for you. So not only finding a product that you like, because the main thing about finding a product that you like is you want to sell something you believe in or you don't think is a scam. And the reason why I say like is because I truly believe that there's not going to be a product out there that you'll find that will be flawless, that'd be like, oh, this is the best product in the world. There's nothing better than this product, unless it truly is the best product in the world, which if you're selling the best product in the world, chances are you're making a lot of money anyway. Even if it is a low ticket product, you're probably selling something that's really, really amazing and cutting edge and so on and so forth. Reality is when you sell, it's generally because you got to build value in a product that may not be the best product in the world, but the product that they need. That's just the truth of it. So you should find a product that you like, because if you like the product and you think it's really good, and then you find a selling style that you love, you will love your job because you're doing it in a way that you're like, oh, this is fun. Like life can't get better than this. And you're selling a product that you believe in so you don't feel slimy while doing it. The mixture of those two will make you a very, very happy and passionate salesperson The more passion you have in sales, the more that you're actually going to be able to do and sell and be happy, have less stress. You'll believe in the product. Obviously, there's still going to be stress in sales, but it's always best to sell a product that you believe in. So the stress is a little less and you're able to focus on more deals, or you're able to focus on your family, or so on and so forth. You don't bring work home as much as you should, or vice versa. Like you bring it home less, which is a good thing. So these are my lessons. This is what 10,000 hours in doing sales has taught me about, not only that in business and learning about products and actually moving things and so on and so forth. If you want me to make a part 2 in this video, very happy to do so. You could actually put that in the comments below. I'm very happy to answer any questions that you have, answer through YouTube. And like I said, please check out my community where I'll answer way more questions for you. I could do way more in-person talks or so on and so forth. It's a little bit more, how you say, personal. Like you'll get more value from it for that. And not to mention, in my community, there's course information and course content that breaks down sales and how to get into high ticket sales. Not only high ticket sales, but maybe even getting into corporate jobs that you really want to through resume building, or even through selling through Loom videos and actually doing the work that it takes to get a really good job in either tech, high ticket sales, or any type of, honestly, any type of job that you're really looking to get into when it comes from a sales perspective. My name is Shawn McGrath. Thank you for listening to this video. Again, any more questions, comment down below. Thank you. Hope I provided you a lot of value.